Hello everyone, how y'all doing today? Nice day outside, nice weather today. Hope everybody's enjoying it. I hope everybody can tune in. I hope everyone's able to sit down and enjoy our show of Prove Me Wrong. Especially our leaders, our council, all of you, because I'm going to be going over a lot of our codes today that are being ignored. So let's go over these codes, some of these papers that I've gotten, these illegal papers. It's just so crazy, even looking at the papers that were given to my mother. So it's kind of interesting to see that on May 10th at 9 a.m., I get to see my bio finally. I hardly ever see him, you know. And address these papers. Now my paperwork is, you know, that's my name. I just don't know who I'm going to court with, or why I'm going to court with this other person. I don't know who Holly Shendo is or Helena Shendo. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that an officer, a BIA officer, served my mother her papers without even asking her her name or who she was. He just came and served her. And if he would have looked at the paperwork and asked her her name, he would have said, oh, this isn't you. Maybe I need to find out who I'm supposed to be looking for. Just craziness that is going on here, allowing our officials, our public officials, being allowed to violate and manipulate our rights and laws. You know, it's just crazy. Just because we're asking questions. Man, it must really upset them. So much so that they're going to go through lengths of violation to stop me from talking about all of this stuff. Try to stop me from asking these important questions. Questions we have rights to know. This is a lot of money, and again, we got a lot of money, and what's being done with it? Mr. Bruinger, you talked about transparency. Let us know, any of you. Let's use Gabe's social media platform and update your people. So I was told that we might possibly be getting some trailers. Did any of you have the luxury of staying in those trailers at the Trappinski this winter? During this COVID season? Any of you have that luxury? I don't know. We really need to get some heads in there. We really need to get some heads in those seats because our people are suffering. While these people are living it up, traveling, going here and there, doing whatever they want, literally whatever they want. And our people are being just pushed to the side. You get what you get. My little girl used to say, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I feel like they just kind of stuck with that Head Start concept and never let it go. But that's not going to be enough for us, you know. This COVID money they got, they could be using it. Someone said, why don't we have some more help from that COVID money for our home, for home assistance? Why don't we have a store program, utility assistance programs that actually be specific on them, you know, don't be making these crazy rules. It should just be for everybody, straight, flat out across the board. No having to do this and do that and yada yada. No. Why don't you use some of that money and build some homes? Let's get some of our carpenters and put them to work, put our people to work. Utilize your people. You have so many skilled people that you don't have to bring in and train them after you hire them. They already know what they're doing. They know what they were hired for. Can you imagine that? Hiring somebody who already knows what they were hired for, and you don't have to train them. Help your people. Tell us what you're doing with that money, because all these crazy things keep popping up and you all aren't answering us. None of you council have answered us about why that man still sits in that seat. And if he was pardoned, then produce that letter, because none of us have seen it. So you all are ruling illegally, you know, against our rights. It's just like really embarrassing that you have to address your council for things that they should already know. And maybe they didn't, but they know now, because they've been given all the documentation to prove it. And yet they have not answered their people. Their people asked that be answered, and they have not answered us. You know, I did my appeal so we can submit it today for my ridiculous restraining order hearing the other day from a public official. That restraining order, remember that man who put himself out there on Gabe's big old platform for social media saying, I'm this and this and this and this and this and this is what I'm going to do, and da-da-da. Well, and nothing was done. Nothing, okay? That man right there that put himself out there as a public official, put himself out there on social media asking for this ridiculous restraining order, and it was granted on no evidence, not insufficient, but no evidence was presented. So it's just crazy. It's kind of like this upcoming hearing for these other two top officials that were allowed to file this ridiculous restraining order, knowing their position, knowing what they are upheld to do, but oh, someone's questioning us, let's get her away. Shame on you all. So this Monday we're going to sit there, and I wonder if we're going to be able to submit sufficient evidence on any side, because you know the person who put this restraining order on me was so terrified. He was terrified of me. He let the court know that he is very fearful of me and the things I post about. He's a public official and a commissioned officer. I really thought that one was a good one, that he's a commissioned officer. Why did we commission him? Do you have your qualifications? Did you go to training where you qualified there, or did our noble president commission you? Did he have the council commission you? You know, these are good questions we need to know. We deserve to know, because you still have not produced any evidence to say that all these things that I have asked you are not true. Man, the court was so in favor of him. They were trying to rush it because I was asking for my proof, you know, prove me wrong. And they just rushed. That Judge Caneswa just made sure and kept eye contact with Mr. Cervantes, and not me. Just Cervantes, you know, that was his hearing. So he had to make sure, am I saying this right? Am I saying this right? Because I threw his judge out. That insane, dumb lady judge, what is her name? I don't know, that's retarded lady that has no business in my court. No business signing my paperwork. And in actuality, none of these hearings for myself, for my mother, for my children, for most of you people, should not be heard by these judges. Why? Because they hear the case before we're even there. That case is discussed before we're even there. In my situation, the case was discussed right at the door. Right at the door. So I could hear, you know, you tell her that you are allowing me back in. And then I will come back in at that time. And you just grant the order, and just, even if she keeps talking, just grant it. There's recordings in that court. You all should play it. See what you hear on there. That big man in there, so fearful. Couldn't answer one of my questions. Wouldn't even look at me when he talked about me. And then his wife, that non-tribal, was just sitting outside the court filming me with that crooked lawyer of ours. Remember that one we hired to help us? The one we were all proud of because, well, she's our people, you know. We thought she was going to do good things for us. But we were sure wrong. We were sure wrong. So let's go over some of these codes. Counsel, are you listening? You two higher ups. Mr. Cervantes, especially you, because you're in there, you know, playing this role. You and your sister need to listen. All of you people putting these restraining orders on me, but your family violates them the minute I'm served. So crazy. So it just like keeps going to my head, like, how was Mr. Aguilar able to even run for council, for VP, for president, anything? And we've asked this. The council was presented with a letter, email, and in hand. The weekend, let's see, I believe it was the 22nd of April. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm looking at May. But yeah, they were presented with the letter in hand in April, asking why this man is sitting in that seat. This man that has no right to sit in that seat. No right, okay? Election Board, 127, your general duties. Strive, E says strive to ensure that tribal elections are conducted in compliance with the code and the revised constitution. Who? We can't say who did it because technically all of you should have made sure that was done because you all are there saying you know what you're doing, okay? But then you didn't because we allowed this felon to not run once, but how many times? And now he leads us. He leads us. They all should have access to these code books. That's why we have this great tribal attorney here to tell us what's right and wrong. But I hope she's listening so she can understand this as well. Because obviously she's not understanding it, this educated woman. So you look on into this code past that 127E, you know, the one you all didn't abide by. And you go on to 1212. Removal of the entire board. What do you all think? I mean, if they allowed this person to run without doing their job and doing his background check, because it says, you know, gross neglect of duty. I'd say that's pretty, that meets it. Failing to substantially perform those duties prescribed by the code and or revised constitution and or seriously damaging the legitimacy of the election process and as a result, tribal government as a whole. Election board, did you read that? Did you read that part of the code? The tribal government as a whole. Do you understand how much it has affected us? These election board members have responsibilities that they're supposed to do. I would like to know what happened to these authorizations to perform background checks. Did they just magically disappear or come back clear? Notice of ineligibility for candidacy on page 23, Appendix C. How did Mr. Aguilar not have one of these? How was he allowed to run? And then, not only was this felon allowed to run, but he was allowed to put other felons in high positions. But y'all are getting fired for other little things. Just you comfortable ones don't like it, don't like to hear what I have to say. But we all know why. And then let's go on. I'm just going to point out a few of these things that are just put in our face, just complete violations of our rights, of our just disregard to our code. Complete disregard to our code by all these people that I'm sure were paid top dollar and are paid top dollar to go by this, to know this, to know this. I don't have a college degree behind me. No. I have years of dedication, but not a college degree. So tell me, how is it that the person who does have the college degree does not understand these? And if she does, then why? Why are you allowing it to happen? We have 215, 216, 217. Judicial conflict, removal of a judge, 216. Any judge of the Mescalero Tribal Court may be suspended or removed for cause upon president's recommendation. Well, we know that won't happen. We know that won't happen. I mean, the president's not going to recommend that. That's how he's, that's his power. That's his power. You go stand before his judge for a hearing that's already been decided. Clear as day. Clear as day. No. Legal rights. Man. Judge, do you read any of you judges? Any of you judges up there? Not just that crazy one, that one that likes to chase people through Ruidoso, like that's her jurisdiction. Not that one. All of you, her too. But do you all read this? Read this chapter here. You should read it. Chapter 2, Tribal Courts. Keneswa. Kleinko. You all have been in there a long time. You all should be very aware of this code here, this book. But you all continue to make rulings without any evidence, without any proof, just with what you hear. It's time for these two to leave, you all. It's time for us to just go through that court. We need to get those top two out because it's clear there's too much hidden for them to speak, to answer, to reply, to in any form. If they don't want to face me face to face and answer my questions, then they could use that platform and address all of you. But they don't. Man, they don't. They sure hiding lots. They sure working hard to keep this under control. Does anybody know when their upcoming concert is? Any of this. I mean, these are just things that you all need to think about. I just find that concert it just really is insane to me to think of that. But then we already have such violent people here. So who's keeping us safe from them, huh? I guess that was your thought. They're safe already. We have all these people here already. Why not bring this person and make money from it? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy that you're just gonna just allow it. Bring this person here. Then if you go on to our code, you go to chapter 24, 431, tribal government. Read that chapter, you all. It's really black and white. These council members that just promise you so much when they want your vote. Start asking them this next election. Go over there, take this and ask them how much they know, how much they go by that book. The ones rerunning, those ones, anybody who is rerunning, ask them, while in office, were you abiding by our codes? Do you know our codes? Start asking real questions, not what are you serving? Who made your chili for you? Oh, who made your bread? Ask the questions that matter. The questions that affect us and our children, our elders. Ask these questions. You know, right now we have this alcoholic woman going around starting fights every night on her drunken binges. And then the next morning, do you send texts to everybody you start a fight with asking for forgiveness? Or just certain people because you do this constantly? How are we going to allow us to be punished so hard for things like this? You don't see any person smoking a plant going out being crazy, threatening people, talking about elders and talking about other people. Ooh, nasty, nasty, nasty. Like they have a right to say anything. Let's get these in place. Let's get our people some help. Start using our code. Get these alcoholics the help they need. These people just selling pills everywhere. These felons over here just using their staff as their own militia. We need to start looking at all of this. We need to change the whole thing, the whole process. Save our reservation, save our people. It's going to start with those two, with all of them. We need to have answers. You council need to answer your people about why you haven't done anything about that paperwork you received on Mr. Aguilar. Mr. Aguilar is a felon. It states it right here in this paperwork that we have presented to you. And we have asked that something be done, that he be asked to provide proof of pardon, or that he be removed from office. And you all have failed to abide by that. You all are changing our codes without asking us, without any kind of electoral vote, anything. Who sends it to the Secretary of Interior? I'd like to see what they have to say about all these codes being changed. I'd like to see that. There's just so many questions every day. Right now, Nelva, you're our COVID chief finance, whatever you are. I don't know your titles, but explain to us where all this money is going. Explain to me why my people are still homeless. You won't even help with their homes, fix their homes, but you want them to have how many people living in one home? How many of you higher ups have several people living in your home? How many of you higher ups have them living in your yard? Let's go see if there's any tents in Gabe's yard and Eddie's yard. These council members. And some of you know exactly what it's like to struggle in that way. So why would you continue to allow our people to struggle in that way? The secretary of the council, who is our secretary? Because that person is supposed to call a meeting, an emergency meeting. Once that paper was received in hand, a meeting should have been called for that man to step down or produce a letter regarding his pardon. And being that the people have asked for this and you haven't responded, it really makes the people think, what all are they doing? What are they doing that they just don't want to answer us? That they're going to ignore these laws for that felon. You know, May is MMIW month. Mr. Aguilar, how do you honor MMIW? I'd like to know that. You should honor them by being honest. By being honest about your past. Monday morning, regardless if that judge allows me to speak, I will ask myself face to face how you honor MMIW. I look forward to that morning. Whether I'm in shackles or whether I'm there on my own free will, I look forward to that morning. Because you will not, none of you will not violate my rights and have me sit quiet. No. I'm very aware of what this says, what our Constitution says, what my council, and I can say that because I helped put you there. I helped put some of you there, you know. So I'm going to keep asking every day how this person is allowed to sit there. And come Monday morning, I will get to ask both of you face to face the things that I have been asking. And let's see if you're like Mr. Cervantes and just keep your head down and not look me in my face when you address me. Such cowards. But I wouldn't look someone in the face either if I knew I was a lying coward either. I just wouldn't. How are you going to say that I harassed you? I went to your place of work. That's mine. I put you in that job. It's my right to ask you. You two leading our tribe, just for you all not to understand that, really helps me to understand why our tribe is this way. So from now on, when you all go vote, look at the person you're voting for. Do they have children? Do they take care of all of them? Or just the ones they want? Until they can get rid of the other ones. I don't know about you all, but you know, my children are my children until the day I die. 18, 21, I don't care how old these kids are, they're mine. Tobias probably hates it to death, but he is my baby. I don't care. I was once told by a man that a daughter does not need her father in his life or in her life, but the son does. I guess I should be thankful for him thinking that way, because look how I turned out. I think I turned out pretty great. And then I wonder if he didn't think that way, and that, like, you know, that daughter had more of that fatherly interaction, maybe she'd be a little different. Thank God I wasn't. If somebody cannot feel love for their child, I mean genuine love, actual love for their own child, there is no way, you all, that they can care for their people. Let's start asking them, asking their children. Your daddy there for you? Let's see what their answers are. Enough is enough. These crazy people trying to put all these ridiculous things on me just to be quiet because you're doing wrong. And if you weren't doing wrong, you would not be putting all this work in to silence someone for doing what is their right. But you all be ready come Monday morning, because whether that judge allows me to speak or not, I'm going to ask those questions. Those questions that need to be answered. So throughout this whole week, Mr. Aguilar, you think about how you honor MMIW this month. Let's see how you honor them. No respect. I don't even understand how some of you walk around with your heads up with your past. The things you've done in your past, but you're still going to walk around and act like that? Let's see how this goes Monday. Y'all have a good day. Again, every day, it's an everyday thing, you all. I wait every day to see if I'm going to go to jail because, you know, I violate these illegal orders. I violate them by talking about these people, about these things they're doing to us. That's why they put them on me, because they thought by putting these illegal orders on me, it would shut me up, but it's not. I'm going to continue talking about these 2 felons, 3 felons, and about all these people leading us and not answering us about all this money, about all these directors that we just keep babying. We just keep catering to. The drunk ones that just cannot stop drinking. The ones that have assault and battery on a household member. Public affray. I mean, how are we going to continue to cater to all these people and just keep pushing everyone else down? No. So I gotta go so I can turn in my appeal for that illegal hearing Friday that was held. And you all, if any of you can share this to KOAT, KRQE, to any northern ear, any other tribe, anybody up north, anybody who can come help us look into all this to get that squeaky wheel going. Share it with them, because I've been trying really hard to get this out there and to just get this. If they're not going to answer us, fine. Let's get our own answers. Let's get some real papers dug up. I got all my proof I need for my Monday morning. But let's get all these answers dug up and brought out. If they don't want to answer, then we'll prove. We'll show our proof. We'll prove ourselves right, I guess. Y'all have a good day. Don't let them violate your rights in any way. Stand up to them. Speak up. Be that voice. Remember your Mescalero Apache. Be proud. Be proud to be Mescalero Apache, regardless of our leaders. Be proud, because they won't be there forever. Not forever. This can't keep going on, all this lying, deceit, backsliding. It can't keep going on. I'll talk to you all pretty soon, if I'm not in jail. Have a good day. Mescalero strong. Don't forget, proud day to be Mescalero Apache strong.